So in carrying on with our tradition of community-based ZEXAL videos, because there's not really too much to discuss right now in Duel Links, I asked you guys what the first XYZ monsters coming to the game would be, and your kind of reasoning why. Now, like Donald here, a lot of you said Utopia. Obviously. Obviously, the main character Ace is coming via a box, level up, or a structure deck. I kind of want it to be a structure deck because at least then lets you go, I can get one for free. If that's all free-to-play players can get, that's fine. And then have it be a paid thing. That might be a fair way of going about it if they want to make money off Utopia, but, not put it in a main box that would kind of piss people off. But yeah, I took a ton of your guys' comments from my community tab, and you guys had a decent amount of ideas, compared to the last one we did. These ones actually make a ton of sense, so let's dive right in. So first up, a general one from Tony. Probably a lot of Sharks cards will be in the first or second box. Also, I could see a lot of Constellas coming to the game since Sarah had them as gate rewards. Yeah, I think Constellas are by far the most likely archetype in Duel Links already, outside of another one we'll talk about later, to get support coming via the first few XYZ boxes. Whether they get everything is not a story. We did see them add in Algadi and a bunch of other ones as NPC cards for the Tag Duel Tournament event, the most recent one. So they could be thinking about giving them in a box or giving them via a character. So I think that's pretty likely. The same of course goes for Sharks cards because we have a ton of them already via the card trader and via other boxes. So if he's a launch character or maybe a late October, early November character, then for sure we'll see more. Brian Lucero along with many others in the community said, what about Gem Knight Pearl? That would be a cool generic rank 4, and yeah, I think this could be a very good card trader card. Now, will they put in a box as a super rare? Probably. It's a generic rank 4, better attack than Utopia, but of course Utopia can stop attacks, which makes it better, but if you're a free-to-play player and you want to get a decent XYZ early on, you could splash into pretty much any deck. Blackwings could use this quite nicely. Then this will be a decent option to start off with, and one I think should come very early on. Now, the reasoning other people said around this was that Guy the Force of the Earth, he was a original 5Ds generic card, came out in one of the first decks, and we have that in Duel Links. But we didn't see that card come around until like 5 months ago, so you can't really count on Konami doing anything really. Now sticking with the vanilla XYZ, we have GAGAGIGO the Risen. Angel Navarrete said it's a non-effect monster that is a bit more difficult to bring out than Blue Eyes with lesser talent points. I could see it again as an SR card or a box trader card, and yeah, this guy is a rank 4, requires 3 to summon it, so it is taking up your entire resource board, and again, it's less than Blue Eyes. So I don't think it would be very broken at all. Now, if you do have an entire board that is Fiendish Chained, this could be a very cool out. Kind of like how Trishula, the Dragon of Icy Imprisonment, is a very good out for boards that have been locked down. XYZ can be that as well. A very nice generic XYZ that can just free up your board, get your monster on board that can attack if you are in a very rough spot and need to get over some big monsters and your opponent is kind of blocking your field up. From Leon Lopez, I'm going to say some of the XYZ monsters in the first XYZ structure deck like GRENOSAURUS, since his burn damage will be halved, and GACHI GANTETSU. Now again, we're bringing around that 5D star deck rule thing here again, and we still haven't seen Colossal Fighter come from that deck into Duel Links. Now, Colossal Fighter is pretty good, it can replace itself when it's destroyed, so it does make sense why we haven't seen that just yet. But I think these are two very good picks. Now, GRENOSAURUS, rank 3, the Dino requires 2 level 3 monsters, decent stat. I'm not going to be taking too many things out in battle, but when it does, you can detach one material from this card to then burn your opponent for 1,000. Now, Konami have said we are going to be getting some cards changed, their burn damage halved. This could be one of them. I could see them being like, you know what, we'll have this as a level up card for maybe a hidden character, and we'll burn it for 500, make it a bit nicer, a bit, not as busted, because burning for 1,000 after destroying is pretty good. Again, what will you destroy with this monster? Maybe you'll put things like Concentrate Current on it and go to town, burn for pretty much game if you had a decent, decently weak monster you're going against. So that could be a thing. But the other one, GACHI Gantetsu, is another level 2 generic rank 2, and it can detach material to protect this card from being destroyed. It's not bad, and it does give your field a Tie That Binds-esque effect, which can be pretty good, but again, it's a monster you summon in defense mode, and you kind of leave it there and it buffs the field, and I don't see it seeing too much play, so maybe that'd be fine. But going back to GRENOSAURUS, rank 3, what decks use it and Duel Links right now? Weather Painter, Psychic Wielder stuff does, Deep Sea Diva, Electromagnetic Warriors I guess, Ghost Strix, Little D, that can make a 2 little Ds into a GRENOSAURUS, that might be kind of fun for Ethan to muck around with. Then we have Michaela, who has been seeing the pattern in Hasselberry's events coming back, giving us more EVOLZAR support, EVOLSAR, EVOLTILES, thinking we're going to get EVOLZARs in Duel Links. Now there's Dolga, Lagia, and Solda, and I think Dolka and Lagia are way too good for Duel Links right now. Maybe Konami thinks they're fine, depending on what they'll be adding, but Solda is a rank 6, requires 2 level 6 dinos to summon, so it is a bit more harsher. It's not really generic, but it's still not bad. A very good stat line, but this card can't be destroyed by card effects when it hasn't seized material. That's okay, because there's not really much in Duel Links right now that pops monsters on the field via destruction. We have things like Karma Cut and Dark Magical Circle that will banish, so really, it's not going to be protected from much, and when your opponent special summons a monster, you detach 1 material from this card to destroy that monster, so if they go out and summon out 2 at the same time, you can then destroy both of them with 1 card. It's kind of like a floodgate in a card, which is kind of nice, but might not be the easiest thing to summon, but for EVOLZAR decks, it could make them see a decent amount of play on the COG ladder. I have seen some people try and play them recently. I think Luke Tyler got to COG with them, I think. So definitely room for them to come around and be pretty decent. Now, another one is a very good TCG staple in extra decks, or at least was for a time, Tornado Dragon, since everyone loves their back row so much, and I think this one is warranted despite how good it is. In Duel Links, we're on a very back row heavy meta, and going to Xyz summoning even more so, with Floodgates, Phoenix Chains, Canadias, all going to be able to stop your Xyzs in their tracks. So, Tornado Dragon, generic rank 4, once per 10 quick effects during your turn or your opponent's. You detach material from this card to target 1 spell track on the field and destroy it. That's not too bad, and I think people will be kind of happy with this in Duel Links, giving us more back row removal, given that we haven't really got much outside of Galaxy Cyclone and Cosmic Cyclone. And Cosmic is really the only one that sees play, just because it banishes and it does, trigger your skills as well. So, a generic rank 4, the can pop back row, could be pretty interesting. Now we have another one here, King of the Feral Imps, Sky Pegasus, and Cyber Dragon Nova. Right, so Sky Pegasus, number 44, this card isn't the most amazing in the world. It can pop a monster on the opponent controls, but they have to pay 1,000 to negate it, which can make some pretty interesting dynamics in the matchup. However, this card was a integral story card for the Baryon arc in ZEXAL, so I think they might save this for a ZEXAL World Chronicles event down the line and have this as a card reward. That could be a pretty solid shout. King of the Feral Imps, I think is fine. Rank 4 again, generic. And you can attach 1 to add a reptile from your deck to your hand. Which in Duel Links, we kind of only have a few things like worms and aliens. This works very nicely with Masked Chameleon, which is an ultra rare card in the selection box back in January, and now it's been reprinted. So there's that support there, and of course there's Cyber Dragon Nova, which I don't think we're getting anytime soon. Obviously Infinity is way better, but Nova goes into Infinity, and Nova by itself can still make it a 4,200 boy, which is pretty good, and can special Cyber Dragon from the graveyard, and when it's destroyed by a card effect, you can then summon out a Twin Dragon from your extra deck. To me, that seems like a bit too good for right now. Obviously, in the future, that's going to be fairly normal for Duel Links, but right now, Nova, don't really want to see. Matt Long, again, with everybody in the community saying Leviathan Dragon, I think that's a fair shout, either as a Shark Ace card, which I don't think he will be, I think he will be Aeroshark, or again, a Box UR generic rank 3, gains attack points. It's not actually that great. You know, it coming out the gate with a monster that can be 2500, 3000 is not bad, but it's just kind of like a vanilla. You know, it's a vanilla 2500 on summon pretty much. I don't think that's all that great for rank 3 based decks. Let me know what you think. And again, rank 3s, we have TERROR-BYTE. This was very early on in the ZEXAL anime, and it can take control of level 4 lower monster opponent controls. This also requires 3 materials to summon. Has a very good defense line, so you know, if you want to go into this, in defense, take control of their guy, summon out your Psychic Wielder from your hand if it's level 3, go into another rank 3. That can be pretty big, but I don't see this seeing too much play, even though... It might do, it just depends on where we go with things, because you can't use this effect during your opponent's turn, which means if you could very nicely disrupt their invocation plays. They summon Alistar, you then quick effect chain this, but you can't. So, right now, I don't see this being all that great, but it might be. And finally, what I thought was a pretty out there pick from Time Paradox Studios, Harpy's Pet Phantasmal Dragon, which requires 3 level 4 wins, which Harpies put them on the board very, very easily. And this card effect is going to be applied while it has 60 material, so it does require material for it to even kind of function, otherwise it's just a solidly okay stat monster on the field. This card can attack your opponent directly. That's pretty big, making Harpies a Dragoonty-esque strategy with an OTK base. That's it's not bad. Your opponent can't target any Harpy monster you control with effects or for attacks. So, does that just mean you can't attack him as well? Huh. That... locking everything out of targeting him as well might be too much, but you are required to detach a material during each of your end phases, which means that without any ways to recur these materials onto the card, you have got a 3-turn base with it. And it's not all that tough to kind of beat around, but if your opponent has things like Wall of D, cards that don't target, that are battle traps, then this card isn't going to do much. But it might still be a pretty cool card to give some early DM support very early on and be like, you know what, DM players or Duel Monsters fans, you know, we hear you, and here's just some love. Because they usually do, on New World, give DM-based decks some support. Obviously 5D's got Blue Eyes, Dark Dimension's got Dark Magician, so this time round I'm kind of expecting Red Eye support. That would be pretty big, but Harpies, Red Eyes, Joey, Mai, kind of tangentially related, that could be a thing. So let me know what you think down below. Is going to be one of the first XYZ cards coming to the game, and then back on the 29th we can come back, see how right or wrong everyone in the community was, because again, as I said in my last video, we know nothing right now. So it's all kind of up in the air speculation, and it's going to be a pretty exciting couple of weeks here as we roll into Tokyo Game Show, and of course the ZEXAL World reveal and release happening at the end of the month. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video. See you then.